Namaste, everyone. A lot of people have been asking, well, is there a spiritual significance to what's going on in the world right now? With a pandemic, with stay at home orders, lockdowns in many places in the world, is there a spiritual significance to it? Well, if you think about it, the places that we want to go to that we can't, restaurants, shops, sporting events, concerts, work, socializing events, bars or whatever. Yeah, a lot of these places you can't go to. And so with that, people go crazy, right? Now, if you think about it, all these things that we want to get to or want to get something from, everything is we're trying to go out to get that to feel something within us. In other words, we're trying to put priority in these things so that we can get something out of it to fulfill a certain need. So, in a way, if you put it at such high regard, it's almost like quote unquote worshiping it. So, we worship food by going to a restaurant. You worship athletes, you go to a sporting event. You go to a concert, you worship all these singers. They're wonderful, it makes us feel good, right? You go to meetings, you go to work, because in a way we worship money because money is important, because without it, how are you going to pay your bills and feed your children and have a certain lifestyle? So when all that came to a screeching halt, we're like, now what? So my opinion, just my opinion, it forces us to focus more not on the external world, but our internal or our inner world. The inner world is basically our spiritual world, the intangible world. Because if you think about everything that is external, no matter how nice your car is, what position you have in your work, what you get from a concert, from whatever food you eat, none of it we can take with us when we leave our body. So we are spiritual beings in an earthly life, right? So I think with what's going on, it forces humanity to put attention, more attention, on things that are of lasting value. Our spiritual development, the virtues we have learned, the mistakes that we learned from. Because it forces us to kind of go within and just say, maybe I should start meditating. Maybe I should take my time really paying attention more to my family. Maybe I should take a little more time to really evaluate what's important in my life. It forces you to go within. Now, the funny part, you say, yeah, to my spiritual life, yeah, I want to practice my spiritual life. So a lot of us, not all, I know a lot of you have your own spiritual practice, but in general, the general public is, yeah, I need to go to church to pray, go to a mosque, to a temple. Even those are empty. Could you imagine? So it's just like, it's a disconnect in our minds. So even the spiritual practice that we go to do it, we can't go there. It's empty. It's closed. So that tells you God does not live in a temple, mosque, or church. God lives within. So the answer, in my opinion, to why a lot of these things are happening in the big picture, okay, in the big picture, is to force humanity to go within, to put value on things that last forever. And there are many ways to do it. One of the easiest ways, of course, as we said, go within, inner reflection, to reflect on what's going on in our lives, what our past is, how does it affect now, how will our future be, to go within. And going within is a form of meditation. And so that's why a lot of people are into meditation. The only thing is they think, oh, I'm going to go into chanting, I'm going to go meditate this. You have to first understand why we meditate. Why do you want to meditate? The most important reason to meditate is to realize who I am. Who are we? Because from there, once we know our identity, we know our inner worlds, then we can take steps to control our inner world that will affect our response to the external world. So whatever is happening outside, we will be able to objectively look at it and act accordingly. Otherwise, the external world will control our inner world. Okay? I hope that gives you a little perspective. That said, in these segments that are coming up of different talks and practices, I just want to emphasize that so that we have a perspective of why we're doing these things. So if you understand the importance of meditation, then we can say, okay, if that is important, how important is it? What are the details of its importance? Does it affect my thoughts, my emotions? If I know who I am, does it affect how I interact with people? What happens to the economy? How does that affect me? How is that different when I meditate? So we'll cover that in the next few segments. All right. Now, the Wesak full moon meditation, which is coming up on May 7th, is the most powerful full moon of the year. And during that meditation, millions of people are meditating all over the world. So there's a massive inflow of spiritual energy. And if you've been with us before, with so much spiritual energy, there's this thing called principle of displacement. The more stuff comes in, the more all junk comes to the surface, right? So it's a magnifying effect. So in addition to understanding these things, what's going on in the world, we also want to harness that powerful full moon because for all that energy coming down, we want to be prepared for it so that by the time that meditation comes along and so much energy comes in, we can just use it like a fire hose to kind of flush out some of the stuff in our system, get it out of the system, right? And then use that energy to magnify the good qualities that we've extracted or things we want to cultivate from doing this inner reflection we're going to do next week or so before that time comes. All right? So thank you very much for being with me. Namaste. See you next time and live super energized.